I don't know. It's the finale. That's wild. That's wild that we got here. That we did that. Well done, everybody. If you've watched Lucids so far. If you haven't watched Lucids, that's kind of the point of this. Is to watch it through. We're going to do one part every night, leading up to Friday, and I just couldn't be more thrilled. Tonight we're obviously doing prequels and part one because I didn't plan it out that well. But yeah, I can either do it where I will pause and talk, or we can just watch the whole thing through, and then at the very end I can answer any questions or any ideas or theories. Well, I won't answer theories, but I'd love to hear them after the episode is done. So it's kind of up to you whether you want a, what is it called, like a director's commentary or what have you, or if it's like a talk back afterwards. So say in the comments what you want. Pause and talk. We have one vote for pause and talk. I'm sorry, your comments are delayed to my live, so I know you're probably commenting right now, but I'm not seeing it quite yet. Pause and talk? Y'all want to do pause and talk? Pause and talk? Wow, okay, let's do pause and talk. That'd be fun. Is everybody cool with if I move my phone like this, or I can also do it vertically, but it just won't take up as much of the screen that way. I have to set it up, so we'll figure that out technically. Guys, I'm in a hotel. I'm in a hotel in Pittsburgh because I'm filming a thing out here. I'm like a real time real person actor. I don't know what the secrecy level is with it, so I'm just not going to say anything. But that's pretty cool. Moving along. Industry's opening back up. That's not too bad. Everything is very COVID safe, which is so nice. Everybody here is incredibly nice and respectful and awesome. Hi from Los Angeles. I'm from Los Angeles. Okay, so let's figure out how we're going to do this, shall we? I'm also scruffy for the first time in forever. My goodness gracious. Yeah, I got an acting job. I mean, my job is acting most of the time. It's just that I've been on a year-long hiatus because almost nothing was happening in 2020 because it couldn't. There was not a lot of filming going on. So we're back. Filming is back, and it's so nice. So yeah. Okay, let me pull up. I'm wondering. You know what might be fun. I was thinking I could just go on YouTube and we could all watch it together, but I could actually pull up the original. Oh, that'd be fun. I'll pull up the original file of part one, and then we could even really dive in. Oh, that'd be super cool to show you editing and stuff. Not all of it, but a bit of editing. Is my phone gonna die during this? It'd be pretty traditional if my phone died. Yeah. Hey, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to watch through prequels and part one tonight in preparation for the finale, the Lucids finale, which is going to be coming out this Friday. Okay. What? Hang on, everybody. Bear with me. This is what the large majority of editing is just scanning through and waiting for my computer to kind of keep up. Okay. So now I have this nifty, thrifty tripod. So I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna put you all in front of the computer. Would people like it if I tilt my phone this way, or is that annoying? Comment below. Smash that subscribe button. We haven't seen you in I've been on YouTube, y'all, so go check it out. That's actually what we're about to do. We're about to go watch through every night one episode of the series that I've been doing called Lucids, and coming up on Friday is the finale, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me just really quickly turn off notifications, just in case like my mom texts me and says your underwear is so filled with poop, which is a very common text I get, because that would be so embarrassing. Okay. All right. I'm getting ardent calls to not tilt my phone, so I will not tilt my phone. I will. This is so funny to like put you guys in like such an official position of a tripod. Look at that. Do you see that in the window? You're on a tripod, y'all. Well done. You made it. Okay. How's everybody's day? How's everybody feeling? I'm feeling good. We celebrated a cast member's birthday today, which was very fun. Okay. All right. How do I get you closer? Let me get my keyboard off. So obviously, a thing about the prequels is I lost the original files of all of these because it was on my old hard drive, and my old hard drive crashed. Thankfully, I was able to save them off of TikTok, so I, for the prequels, I just used the old videos that I saved literally off of this site, which was helpful, but I mean, still, I wish I could show you like all of the scores and everything and all the effort that went into it, but sadly, I just have these files from TikTok. But no, that didn't make a difference. Hang on. All right. That looks nice. What am I missing? Am I missing something? I don't think so. I think we're good to go. All right. So these are the Lucid prequels, aka we start with Jasper and we go to The Adventures of Benjamin and Oliver. Can everybody see? Sideways is better? Okay, if I were to, would everybody be mad? Everybody be mad. Oh, you know what? That is better. I know you can't type well like that, but I also can't really read your questions. What do we think? Sideways? Yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting. Sorry, I don't want my phone to die during this. So let me get my charger. All right. Y'all are now plugged in. Let's do it. Okay, so we start with Lucids prequels. Here we go.
Delivery. Yo, I asked for chicken.
The order has been replaced due to the shortage.
Hold up, sorry. Were you the baby on the 1997 packaging for Pampers Overnight Diapers?
Yes.
What's up, dude?
Hey.
Jasper, right?
Yeah.
You went to St. James Middle School.
Yeah.
Were you like crushed it in math class?
I mean, I was okay.
Come on, everyone was using a TI-84 and my man was using a TI-86.
Yeah, my calculator was pretty cool.
And you wanted to be an astronaut.
I mean, yeah.
But then your parents got divorced and you decided to stay at home to help your mother through those tough years.
Yeah.
She's so proud of you, dude.
Really?
Look, Jasper, I know that things might get dark sometimes, but you gotta know that you are making so many people's lives that much brighter by just being you.
Really?
Really, dude.
How do you know so much about me?
Oh, we all worship you.
What?
Yeah, we saw your Pampers packaging and now we, like, worship you.
Oh.
We sacrifice animals in your name.
That can't be legal.
The service is in, like, 10 minutes. You wanna join?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Hang on, everybody. I am actually going to tilt it back this way because I can't read your questions while you go on. So my apologies, but oh, there we go. Let me bring you down a little bit more. So that was the very first one. And I was really not expecting it to
take off in the way that it did. I was actually putting that video out to put another one out before I put out the one I thought was really going to blow up, which was Fire at Will. And I put so much effort behind Fire at Will. And I was like so excited. I put so much effort behind the score. And I put out Jasper as kind of like let's keep the algorithm happy so that way Fire at Will really blows up. And then that one just went nuts. The first Jasper. And it made me realize a lot of stuff about what people respond to and what I respond to too, because I really enjoyed making it. It wasn't very stressful. It wasn't like Fire at Will was a lot of stress to make. And so this was just great fun. And so the opportunity to get to do a second one, the very first thing I thought about when people were asking for a part 2 was the opportunity to make the joke of Alex, Jasper, 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 Ryan, Jasper, Jasper, and I'm Jasper Prime. I thought that would be hilarious to have 2 people named random things. I was putting everybody in costume and I was like, let me put people from other skits in here. And I was also writing Benjamin and Oliver at the same time. And I realized I could put Benjamin in. And I was like, why is Benjamin there? And so right here between parts 1 and part 2 was where I came up with the entire plot of The Adventures of Benjamin and Oliver. And you haven't seen it yet, but that's when I came up with the idea of Benjamin and Oliver. So let's continue.
Hey everyone, kind of some earth-shaking news. This is Jasper. Hey Jasper, this is Alex, Jasper, 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 Ryan, Jasper, and I'm Jasper Prime. Hey, Alex and Ryan are new. Okay. So it turns out they didn't have any chicken for us to sacrifice. But as they say, no harm, no foul. So this one's for
Hang on, no harm, no foul. Everyone gets that? I'm sorry. I just I want everybody to know about no harm, no foul because when I wrote it, anyway, no harm, no foul. They don't have a chicken. Oh man.
love, sleep, and play. Campus. Oh, yum. Thank you. Cool. That was dope.
Something about that cutting board. I put. Hang on. This is really gruesome.
Oh.
No, wait. Where is it? Where's my guy? There. So you see all of that? I smeared ketchup all over it to make it look as though it was a used animal sacrificial cutting board, which is so bad. Let me see here if you can see it. Here, I wrote out a bunch of things on the Scrabble board. That says Jasper. That says, what does that say? Oh my goodness, I don't even remember. That says Jasper. Oh, it says sacrifice. There's an S there. It says sacrifice, Jasper. I don't know what that says. That says pigeon. That I think says Jasper again. That says no you, which I thought, I don't know. So I wrote a bunch of stuff out.
Campus. Oh, yum. Thank you. Cool. That was dope. We actually don't deliver live chicken. Jasper, if you could just wash your hands for 20 seconds before the
Hey, I already washed my hands.
No, not you, Jasper. That's gotta get repetitive. 20 seconds, please.
So there he was. There was our boy. There he was. My guy. That comes in Lucids Part 1.
No, not
So we get to
you,
revisit that,
Jasper.
which is great fun.
That's gotta get repetitive. 20 seconds, please.
Why is he singing Lizzo? Because that was the song I sang every single time I washed my hands to make sure I was watching it for 20 seconds. Oh, interesting thing about that shot, that is one of the only shots in this entire series that I held the camera myself. Because everything else is on tripod and I needed that swivel and there was no one to film.
At this moment, I realized.
Fourth wall break. Hilarious.
This is taking too long. All the Jaspers are probably finished setting up. Calm down, Ryan. We should check on him. No. Why not? Because he's probably pooping. Nobody takes 20 minutes. Jasper fact 813. Jasper is a shy pooper.
813, that is August 13th, which is my girlfriend's birthday.
You actually memorized that? I found some of them interesting. Jasper fact 1028. Jasper.
1028 is my birthday.
10/28, October 28th.
22, Jasper.
622 is...
You're gonna be back any second, Alex. We need to go in. Just give him a minute. No, we gotta go in.
I don't remember why 622.
Uh-oh.
That is the first time I ever used two of me in a frame. That's how it started. When I realized I could do that. That's how all of this started, was with Alex and Ryan. That was crazy that I managed to pull that off. I was very happy because, with the door opening and following that was hard. But, yeah, great fun. I love that shot. I love that shot. This is one, that...
Be back any second, Alex.
Sorry, everybody.
No, we gotta go in. Ryan, come on. Uh-oh.
Sorry, final cut. Yeah, we know final. I just love that shot.
Whoa, Jasper? Hello.
Longest time it took me to make a video, about 2 months.
Really? Well, now that you're here, you know what they say. What do they say? People understand that this isn't personal. Say what? What? Good, that's a huge weight off my conscience.
Funny.
It's nighttime now, Jasper.
Oh, that's a fun scoring moment where the do 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 do, like it's a minor version of the Jasper Prime theme. Rewinding is hard on this, so that's fun. That took forever to make. Obviously, we had to clear out the garage. This was the first time I got my parents involved. Was like, can you help me clear out the garage, please? And yeah, that was great fun to make. One of my favorite vines of all time.
This is where we usually have movie night. What's happening? Okay, right, so here's the deal. I'm replacing you. Jasper Prime. Yep.
Okay.
I know.
This is where everybody gets confused. That's Jasper Prime. He took off Jasper's clothes, which we see in Lucids Part 2. We see that actually happen. That's Jasper Prime.
I'm sorry, but
that's Jasper.
I made you this. See, it's your face. That's really nice. Why are you doing this? Well, I'm trying to learn to love myself, and I already love you, so I figured this is a felony, a shortcut. Okay. And besides, there's no one I'd rather be. Because you always make time for kindness and do the most with the time that you've made. You may not be perfect, Jasper. But
oh, Jasper's
always
theme.
Try. And no amount of perfection can touch that. So what happens now? Well, dinner is in your honor tonight, so if you're me, where do I go? That's where things get complicated.
So, if you want to see something interesting, and this is something that went wrong, actually, and this is something I always notice, but no one ever else does, but I didn't know the blocking yet of Jasper Prime in this scene. I knew he knelt down to talk to Jasper, which is why Jasper's eye line is lower, right? Because Jasper Prime is here, looking up at Jasper, then when we flip the camera around, Jasper Prime is here, looking up at Jasper like that, right? And I didn't know... I filmed Jasper first, and I didn't know the timing of Jasper Prime getting up and walking over to pick up his old jacket to throw it at Jasper. So if you watch,
well, dinner is in your honor.
I get up. I'm up. I am now, Jasper Prime is up, but I did not know that. So now Jasper is still looking down, and that bugs me every single time, because what you want is the eye line to track what's happening on the other side of the screen. So that is an example of a mistake, right? Which is, I also think is important just to note, because I was getting used to this thing, and that's, I don't know, I just think that's interesting.
If you're me, where do I go? That's where things
So now he's standing up. It doesn't... New camera! So I'm now filming with my Canon Rebel T6i, which is the camera I film all of Lucids on, and the reason I had to do that is because it films at a film rate that is slowable, right? So you can put it in slow motion. Meanwhile, if you film on an iPhone, it's harder to put it in slow motion in editing unless you film it in slow motion on your camera. So this was all filmed with my camera just tilted sideways. Oh, that shot took forever, and I use it for maybe 0.5 seconds. This took me forever. I set up the camera outside. I think my mom took a video on the home camera of like me running in and out and in and out. I had to change costumes 5 times. One for him, one for him, one for him, one for Jasper Prime, and then one for Jasper. But I had to actually cut before that ever made it because it didn't fit inside the edit. But I did the entire scene through this angle, and I only use it for this half a second, which is wild. little Great Gatsby moment. That was a fun shot. My dad racked the focus for that. That was really nice of him to. Yeah, we know Final Cut. Final. So we start on that candle, lead up to his face. Fun. To be continued. Bananas! That took forever as well. That shot took forever.
Alex, Ryan, Jasper.
Okay, so for this episode, the audio quality on my Canon is terrible. It doesn't have good quality audio. And so rather than thinking to record the audio on my phone, which is what I now do for Lucids, I actually had my entire microphone rig set up right here. And it was connected to my computer. It was running through Logic Pro X. And I was speaking basically into my recording mic for the entire thing. And so what I would do is I would run over, I would click record on that, I would come over here, I would clap, so that way there was a spike in the audio so I could line it up with the footage itself. But this is not the real audio from the recording, it's the real audio from the mic right over here. So then I had to line them up later, which is now what I'm used to doing on all of Lucids.
Worship you. And that's a little weird, because you're not, you're just normal. But your jacket's cool,
Benjamin.
and your calculators were cool, and you're a pretty good stress baker. Jasper Fact 83.
William.
Yeah, you wanted to be an astronaut. You wanted to fly to Mars with no way back and be a planet away from normal, but you stayed here on Earth because you needed to. Because you needed to help your mom be happy. And I think it kind of made you happy too. And that's cool. Because happy isn't normal, happy is hard, it's impossible sometimes, but you did it, and you didn't need worshippers or new identities, you just helped someone, so for what it's worth, I'm proud of you, Jasper. Jasper, this might be a bad time, but we have knives. What? We know that you're trying to kidnap Jasper, and we're here to protect him. Wait, no!
Okay, that was next to impossible to do, because when you're filming, you want a kind of an action line for the camera to be on one side of, and then the scene is on the other side, right? So basically, if these are the two scene people and this is the camera, you want to be able to flip, like, so you're always looking between the two. It's as though the camera is a third person at the table. But I was filming all around the table, so that was my first time ever dealing with that problem, and I remember I got so confused about where to put people's eye lines. So that scene took about 3 nights to do. That was a wild scene. So now we carry on.
Trying to kidnap Jasper, and we're here to protect him. You have 3 seconds to leave the cult. A little dramatic. 3. Wait, no, I'm Jasper Prime. 1, 2, Jasper, run. Ryan, big switch. Alright, fine. Plan B.
Not again. And here we are in a flash forward to Lucids Part 4. This is a flash forward, crazy times.
It appears we are at a disagreement.
All right, so this is when I started the trend of me waking up at about 5 a.m. to get out to a cliff to film at sunrise, and I started doing that nonstop, both for this and for Lucids, and yeah, it's one of the greatest things ever. I was actually there was a lot of like with everybody in COVID, you lose people in your life, and I lost someone during this pandemic, and it was around the time that I was filming this episode, and I remember I would drive out, like, just as the sun was rising, and it was really healing. It was really lovely to kind of get to experience a very quiet part of life by myself and enjoy it, and also be making something during it. So these scenes mean a lot to me, even though they're funny.
The other is that duplicitous, intemperate, covetous, rebarbative, callous leader, Jasper Prime.
That took me forever. That sentence took me forever, which is why there's a joke in Lucids Part 3 about him rehearsing those lines, because that took me forever to actually say correctly.
One of you shall be spared.
The dictionary.
Others shan't. What? Honestly, I don't know. Brian said it'd be cool if we spoke like we were in the movie 300 and... Make your plea, okay? I'm Jasper Prime. That was easy. Prove it. All right. Your real name is Harold Peterson. Your name is William Wenifer. His name is Robert Paulson. Okay.
Robert
Alex.
Paulson, Fight Club, everybody. And he never makes it to Benjamin's name, right? Which is also addressed in, Lucids Part 3. He never says Benjamin. Because I don't want to give that away yet, because a lot of people hadn't noticed that Benjamin was in this series yet. And so he's cut off right before. So we got William Wenifer, we have Harold Peterson, and we have Robert Paulson, Alex, Ryan, Jasper Prime, and he never mentions Benjamin.
Throw him off the cliff.
For Sparta!
Alex, throw him off the cliff.
Little flash through.
No!
So that's Jasper realizing that he actually really does care for Jasper Prime, despite everything.
Oh, Jasper. I don't think you understand who this man is. Do you know why he made you?
Oh my goodness! Katie Sachs is here? Katie! Oh my goodness! Hi Katie. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. Oh my gosh. Hi Katie.
Cult? Do you know anything about him? Jasper,
Final cut, please. Final cut. I had such fun filming. So I filmed all 3 of these episodes at once. So I was going out to this cliff for maybe about a week and a half, and I filmed all 3 episodes. And the hard thing about doing it for TikTok rather than doing it for Lucids is that I knew that I only had 59 seconds, so every shot matters. Not that every shot in Lucids doesn't also matter, but I can spend longer on a shot in Lucids. And this was like, you only have half a second for the audience to recognize where you are, what you're doing, who it is, and it's all me, so it was very hard to... Anyway, so here you go.
we're protecting you. What are you talking about? Alex and I are your half-brothers, Jasper.
Okay, I messed up. They're not half-brothers, they're step-brothers, but...
Your father left your family to start one of the most successful tech companies in the world.
Chapel!
Jasper, you never knew. Your father is one of the wealthiest people in history.
James Jasperson, who messes around with every history because he's a lucid and he can mess around with dreamscapes. Very fun.
We found out about a plan to kidnap and replace you to inherit your father's estate. Turns out it was this guy. See, he created the cult just to reel you in. And when the time was right, he ordered from the deli where he knew you worked part-time. You see, Jasper, none of it was real. He was just using you. He didn't care. None of them care. And why would they? You're just normal. Jasper. It's time to come home, Jasper. It's real to me.
Nice!
Protect Prime.
Protect Prime!
Protect Prime.
This took forever, obviously. This shot took forever, and I use it so sparingly, but wow. Yeah, that took...
Feel that railway tremble, watch the ocean cry, make your way to get back home tonight. Make your way to get home tonight.
Leave your open doors for the morning light, open for the wandering boys to see inside, wide enough for the wind to bring me in. So, am I going to finish Wandering Boys? I wrote Wandering Boys very specifically for this moment, because I figure the 2 of them are, wandering through life. And I wanted that to be sort of the central message. And also for it to be kind of like a Bob Dylan folk song. So now we're in the exact opposite position. They're in different clothes. So this costume has always been here, but this person has not. It's very... I wanted to set myself in a Shakespearean kind of predicament of like different people in different costumes, but you can still tell who's the person in the costume. I don't know. I thought that was fun.
Hi. Hey.
Oh, to be concluded.
You created the cult just to replace me. Why? I wanted to be someone else. I never knew my parents.
I never knew my parents, which is kind of a lie, but, obviously he was abused by Mrs. Hills in her dreamscape because she was going through these grief-riddled nightmares, and so he escaped through the work of James Jasperson, right? He went to James Jasperson, found him. He became a lucid, got out of the dreamscape, is now here. We'll get to part, what was it? Part 4, part 5, where James Jasperson says, I know where your son is. He can get quite clingy, can't he? Which is a reference to the fact that he found James Jasperson and now wants to be his son, because he's like, now, so this is sort of an abbreviated version of all of that, but yeah.
I've had a home. I've made a lot of mistakes. So I found out about you and your dad.
Made a lot of mistakes. I don't know, he feels guilty for everything.
Take it. Why didn't you? Because I met you, and I found out that you really are someone worth believing in.
Ah, I was so proud of that line, that you're really someone really worth believing in. You know, the whole tension of this series of Jasper is fighting against normalcy and striving for uniqueness. And, Jasper, who feels like he's such kind of not a failure, but sort of given up a little bit and, is fighting to make everybody else happy, but never takes the time to really make himself happy. He meets this cult, and there's this cult named after him for this very, in his mind, not substantial thing that he did, which was be the baby on the 1997 Pampers packaging. And, so throughout that phase, and he realizes that's not what he wants at all. In fact, what he wants is just to be, more believing in himself. And now we've got Jasper Prime, who this whole time has only been serving himself. It's this really nice twist where they've learned something from each other, and I really like that.
What's your real name?
Which prequel series am I most proud of? I'm proud of both. I adore both.
I'm Jasper. Hey, can I have my jacket
Quinn,
back?
by the way, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Jacket back.
Here. Thanks. Do you want
And
me
that
to-
is the way they stay for the remainder of the series, for all of Lucids. This is now their outfit.
Okay.
And the way you know...
We've got a lot to
Okay,
talk
hang on.
about. Yeah. But then maybe we could watch My Respects in the Sweet Meat Chronicles. What?
Sweet Meat Chronicles! And the reason Quinn does not know about Lumber Sweats and the Sweet Meat Chronicles is because that was altered in this reality, by Oliver during the adventures of Benjamin and Oliver. Quinn is a lucid and doesn't get his brain affected by any changes to this reality, because this is not his reality, so of course he wouldn't know it. So he doesn't know about it, whereas Jasper, it's his favorite thing ever, which is sort of hinting at the fact that Quinn is not part of this reality. Anyway, the way that you know that this sequence is a flash forward, give me a second, is because, watch out, he is in the Lucid's outfit already. He is not in his normal shirt. He's in his jacket, but he's not in his normal shirt. And Quinn is also not in his right outfit. He is in the Lucid's outfit. There, you see that shirt collar? So he is in... That's how you know that this is going to be a flash forward to Lucid's Part 4. Pretty sweet. Okay, let's carry on. So we've seen all of this. The end. Nice shot of the moon. Or is it? Bow, bow.
Okay, Oliver.
Okay, Oliver.
You ready?
Ha ha! Dun 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 dun! Yay! Okay. Meanwhile, in a Whole Foods somewhere. Okay. Okay. This scene is probably one of the most important scenes. So let's watch it.
Benjamin, wake up. You're 7 years old. You fell asleep in math class, and all of this has just been a bad dream. Oliver? What just happened?
Oh, I'm just testing my theory that I'm the master of my own reality.
Okay.
What? Well, if you had woken up, it would mean that I've only ever been a figment of your imagination, but you didn't, and I'm still here, so we're good. Okay, so if it had worked, I would cease to exist. Okay, so you're just running up to people at Whole Foods and attempting metaphysical suicide. Dude, I haven't seen you since high school. Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. You good? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm great, actually. Isabel and I, we got engaged. The wedding is actually cool. So I've got like 20 more people to hit today, so like I'm just gonna... Where are you going? We'll have to keep testing my theory. No, dude, you need to stop. What? Well, it's disconcerting to say the least for you to run up and scream at people to wake
Wake up,
up.
Oliver. Come on, sweetie. You missed the multiplication quiz. You too, Benjamin. Wake up. Now, Katie said 6 times 9 is 42. Does anybody know what you get if you multiply 6 by 9?
Okay, whole lot to unpack here. So we're in a Whole Foods, in obviously Benjamin's dreamscape. He has the apple, Whole Foods. Oliver comes up and says, "Wake up! You're 7 years old. You fell asleep in math class, and all of this has just been a bad dream." Wild.
Oh, I'm just testing my.
You know what? I'm not. Oh man, I'm not gonna talk a lot about plot points. I'm just gonna talk about behind the scenes stuff. This scene. How does Oliver know that they're 7 years old? I'm not gonna answer any plot points right now. I don't think that gets addressed. I think that's just like kind of a funny coincidence that, you know, like Chekhov says, like if you introduce a gun on stage at some point it must be used. So this is sort of an equivalent of like, if I introduce this idea, it must be true. Otherwise it would just be a very disappointing skit. I remember when I filmed this scene, this was the first scene I ever filmed inside of my house, like inside of like my childhood home house. And I was in such a bad mood recording this because like I always feel really embarrassed like acting or doing anything in front of my parents, and my parents I think were like somewhere off in the living room, and I felt so embarrassed. You know, there I was, this adult who had to move back home because of COVID, and I was doing this silly little made-up skit in my old kitchen, and I just felt so embarrassed, and so I was in a bad mood, and I had been planning, you know, this series. I was so excited about this series, and it was such a shame that, like, I was, like, I don't know. Was that Dan Povenmire? Dan Povenmire! What's up, dude? We're going through Lucids, in preparation for the finale. Anyway, I was in a bad mood. I recorded this, and this is what came out.
Theory that I'm the master of my own reality. Okay, what? Well, if you had woken up, it would mean that I've only ever been a figment of your imagination, but you didn't, and I'm still here, so we're good. Okay, so if it had worked, I would cease to exist. Okay, so you're just running up to people at Whole Foods and attempting metaphysical suicide.
Final cut.
So, dude, I haven't seen you since high school. Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. You good? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm great, actually. Isabel and I, we got engaged. The wedding is cool. So I've got like 20 more people to hit today, so like I'm just gonna... Where are you going? Well, I have to keep testing my theory. Nah, dude, you need to stop. But, well, it's disconcerting to say the least for you to run up and scream at people to
Wake up, Oliver. Come on, sweetie. You missed the multiplication quiz. You too, Benjamin. Wake up. Now, Katie said 6 times...
And that's Mrs. Hills's voice. That's Mrs. Hills's voice.
6 by 9?
Sweet.
Maybe excuse, please?
All right.
What's happening? All right, don't freak out. Don't freak out. I just woke up in 2nd grade. I'm in a surprisingly nice elementary school bathroom.
Same bathroom that is used in Lucids Part 5 for Oliver's freak out before he gets thrown into the hospital with his brother. And it's still surprisingly nice. And there were a lot of takes where during that freak out moment in Lucids Part 5, as I was sliding down the wall, I was like, this is too nice for 2nd grade. Like I was still making the joke of it being a surprisingly nice bathroom. And eventually I had to cut that because it took too much time with the scoring and everything. But I did actually continue that joke. It didn't make it to the edit.
I must be hallucinating. All right, first of all, you're not hallucinating. This is happening. Our entire lives are nothing but a strange intertwined dream. Oh my God. I said don't freak out, but okay? Hey, look at me. Benny. Okay, hard pass on the name Benny.
Hard pass on the name Benny.
I told you so. What? I was so right. I was like, this is all a dream. And you were like, Oliver, you're crazy. And my collective neocortex was like, psych, and boom, baby. I have got to be the smartest 7-year-old subconscious in the history of 7 years. Sorry, I had to get that out of my system. You okay?
So what do we do now?
What do you mean?
How do I get back? How do I get my life
I don't
back?
think you understand the position you're in.
Fetal?
Listen, Benny, worth a try, Benjamin. We can change the world. What are you talking about? We already know what the future looks like, and we can change it, Benjamin. We can keep one direction together.
So, at this point, they don't understand what's happening. There's a lot of speculation of like, are we time traveling? Can we change the future? Or have we gone back in the past? That obviously is not what's really happening, but that's like what they immediately think, right? They wake up, they're 7 years old. Oliver has woken up, obviously with the apple in hand, or in pocket. He has the apple in his pocket. He doesn't know what that means. No one knows what anything means. So they're just theorizing at this point.
Come
come on, we have the chance to stop all the bad things we remember.
Still think they're time
from
traveling.
happening. No idea what good things we could lose.
Come on, the season finale of Lost, planking, hoverboard, Breaking Bad, Vine, electric cars.
Okay, Robert Pattinson's 2014 Bowl Cut, Crocs.
The last 3 years of Robert's artistic renaissance, and Crocs are fun. 2019 live-action Sonic. 2020 live-action Sonic. Star Wars prequel trilogy. Cinematic masterpieces. Absolute garbage. I will get my mom to throw you out of this house.
Seriously, we could start fighting climate change now. We could find a cure for COVID-19. Are you crazy?
We're gonna go to sleep, and we're gonna stay there for as long as we can. And when we wake up, we're gonna follow our own footsteps right back to when I had a fiance and you weren't bothering me.
B6. Does anybody have B6?
I love him. I love them.
Oliver, Benjamin, how old are we now? Old enough to be excited about bingo, because your boy got B6. Bingo, baby!
Oh, someone asked, did I film Oliver with an apple in his pocket? Awkward thing about that, the pockets in that jacket are actually so small an apple cannot fit. So all of that is movie magic of me just having an apple there. But so no, I wasn't able to. But in the story, without the behind the scenes knowledge, he does have an apple in his pocket.
No. This is all wrong. You're just jealous. We need to wake up. Holy crap.
What the hell? I was bingo boy.
These took me forever. Oh my goodness, what does this say? Sexually frustrated and don't know what to do about it. Join drama club and get applause while you cry. Oh my goodness. An original senior musical where screaming is acting. There are so many. Oh my goodness. Daniel for class treasury spelled wrong. I don't remember what that says. 3 strikes before suspension only. Oh, dress code. 3 strikes before suspension only applies to girls was created by the male faculty. Yeah, there's tons of these.
It's high school.
Oh my god, get Yark mapped, Luke.
Also, this is a rock and roll version of Pigeons, which was the song playing in the grocery store. That is voiced by my girlfriend, Crystal Lake Evans. Oh yeah, Yart Mapped. First time we hear Yart Mapped.
Wake up. Okay, Yart mapped. We need to figure this out. We have 2 options. Either we're in a linear timeline
Hey,
where our
it's
lives
Blue's
are
Clues.
consistent, but we just keep jumping between the past, present, and future, or we're creating a multiverse where our current actions affect the future, but we just keep jumping back to the 2nd grade. So what we need to do. Oliver?
Oh, how did the piece of bread stay on his face? It had peanut butter on it, and it took a lot of tries to get it to land and stick on my face, and it was my mom who threw it at my face, and it was one of the weirdest things we had to do, was my mom had to successfully throw a piece of bread to stick to my face. Nailed it.
What are you? Oliver's Dream List. Stop Apple from changing their charges.
Japple.
Create a global coffee brand called
Gasball currency.
Picture original TV show
Lumber Sweats and the Sweet Meat Chronicles to Netflix.
Oliver,
Let's
what is this?
go!
Can you please stop trying to change the future? Because we're going to do exactly what we did in 2nd grade, and step by step, we'll figure out a way to get back to the perfect life I once had. What? That life doesn't exist. That life doesn't
So, Oliver has figured it out.
exist. Yeah, not if we keep messing around with the past. There is no past. There's no present. We're not time traveling. We've been dreaming. No, but you said I proved myself wrong. What? Do you know what the expression "get Yart mapped" means? No, neither do I. It was something I made up before we went back to high school as an experiment, and sure enough, it showed up in our dream. I didn't tell anybody about it.
So, Oliver does not know. Actually, I'm not going to talk.
I just thought it. See, there's a 3rd option. This timeline we're in, right?
Wait, hang on. Ugh, jeez. Can you explain how it's Benjamin's dream if they aren't all the same timeline? They are the same. So this is.
Us in 2nd
Check this
grade.
out.
This is our real
Okay.
life. And everywhere we visit, the retirement home,
Goodness gracious.
high school, the
Okay, so this
Whole Foods, all of that
Whole Foods.
is
Which,
part of a completely
okay, this is Benjamin's reality, right? 7th grade. Sorry, 2nd grade. He's 7 years old in 2nd grade. This is his dream. It is one continuous timeline that when you fall asleep, you hop into these random moments of the dreamscape timeline. In this dreamscape timeline, there are people throughout it, like Isabel and everybody, who have dreams of their own that they can hop into, right? As a lucid, once you're trained as a lucid, you're able to hop into specific moments. So you can say, I want to go back to high school. And so then you hop into high school, or you say, I want to hop into Whole Foods, and you hop into Whole Foods. But before you're a lucid, whenever you fall asleep, you just go to these random places. So that's kind of how this is working, right? So this is Benjamin's reality, which is second grade. This is his dreamscape, which has Jasper, Quinn. Well, Quinn is a lucid as part of that, but like that's sort of the Jasper timeline, right? And Oliver, well, let's keep going.
Separate dreamscape that we have total control over. That would mean that Isabel has never existed. She was born
Come on, final cut.
into our dream.
This, I swear, this is exactly what editing is like.
Everyone we've ever known or heard of has been a figment of our second grade imagination. Benjamin, there's only one thing to do. We find out whose dream we were born into.
We find out whose dream we were born into, right? Which gives this idea that this reality is also a dream, someone else's dream, right? So now it gives sort of this hierarchy, which we learn more about later with like this idea of like an ever-growing tree.
Abuse our godlike power. Or
The reason he wants to abuse his godlike power is because he wants to change everything, right? Because of the accident, his brother and everything. Meanwhile, Benjamin wants everything to go back to being the same. Thus, we have a conflict of interests, which is a TV show.
what you said.
All right, there she is.
Math class, you woke us up from an alternate reality which exists only in our dreams and which we've been living in for the past 15 years, and we figured since you were the one who woke us up, you might know something
You think
about
this timeline is someone else's dream?
Yeah.
Timeline is because she was the one who was waking them up when she was the teacher, right? So they think, well, if you woke us up, then you must be the dreamer. And she says,
It's mine.
Is it?
No.
Okay.
no.
Come in. You
So
know what?
what we're about to find out is that even though it's not her timeline, she is a lucid.
Like me are called Lucids, able to jump from one dreamscape to another.
So we
See,
find out that this, in fact, isn't even her reality. She's from a completely different dreamscape / reality. And she has been hopping around, and she is now currently in this one. So she actually doesn't belong here. She's like Quinn later in the Jasper universe, because she's a lucid. This is not her reality. This is not her dreamscape.
we discovered that dreams are not stagnant fictions, but behave almost like creatures gradually evolving. Also, coffee doesn't exist in my reality, but I followed the instructions.
Brits!
Dreams are self-contained universes, each with its own cast of characters. Now let's say inside a dream...
I came up with the name Lumber Sweats and the Sweet Meat Chronicles because I thought it was funny. It was the same way I came up with the name Ray Ray Sugar Daddy Fatty Catty Beef. Like, I don't know. These names just happen.
One of those characters somehow develops their own independent consciousness. Now that character can have dreams of its own, with new characters, who might have more dreams, and so on. An ever-growing tree. As a loop...
How did Oliver change stuff in Benny's dream? What? Right?
Lucid, you're trained how to swing from branch to branch.
Wait, there's training? Could you teach us? Would that get us back?
I could, but it takes extreme skill to permanently live in a dreamscape, and I've never heard of two people
Oh
having...
god, what? I forgot that my second
That is not my voice. That is my mom's voice.
grade body has never had caffeine before. Oh
We'll
god.
begin training tomorrow.
Yeah, we should probably wait, otherwise my friend is gonna get yard mapped. God,
You see how it rolls off the tongue?
Okay, this episode I actually record. So it now, after that episode, it then took me a month to create episode 7. I had episode 7 done and finished, and then I realized I needed an episode before episode 7 in order to describe what was going to be happening in episode 7. I thought it was a good opportunity to establish the relationship between Benjamin and Oliver, and so I did this over the course of one night. And like I edited it, scored it, acted it. This was one night that I did this episode. That was crazy.
I'm just going through Mrs. Hill's notes for tomorrow. What's up? I can't sleep, ironically. Yeah, are you sure we should be doing this? Well, it won't be easy. We'll be jumping into someone else's dreamscape, someone who exists only in ours. But from there, we look for the apples. Whoever's controlling the dreamscape that we're in will have some sort of signal, and our brains perceive that signal as an apple. So if we follow the apples...
So this is all affecting him because he's like, oh shit, I have an apple, right? So,
we'll eventually be led back to our reality, but if we want to go deep, we find someone else. The deeper we go, the slower time will move in our reality until we find out if Leonardo DiCaprio's spinning top falls over after the credits.
Inception joke.
But if there really are an infinite number of dreamscapes, then eventually...
Is there a reason why you play all of the characters or just because of TikTok? The reason is it's COVID-19 and I'm being as safe as I can be. I'm not in school, I'm not in anything, I don't have an obligation to see anybody else. And so playing other actors was the most COVID-friendly thing I could do, was playing all the characters. That's truly why.
So I'll find an exact replica of ours and I'll be able to live and relive and never have to.
But why?
Why?
Benjamin, we're the smartest 7-year-olds in this world. And we have an entire dreamt up universe that we can control. I don't know if you remember our dreamscape, but the world was sick. We could solve that. We could save so many people.
Isabel was pregnant. It's not that I haven't thought about it, Oliver. I have, but I would do anything.
So either you can make the world a better place, or you can go back to the position that you were in where you had a daughter. And that's sort of the trolley problem, right? Of like, I even though the world was horrible, the butterfly effect of me changing anything in that reality might lead to the fact that I would no longer have a daughter. So I'm going to keep everything exactly the same, try and learn how to live in my dreamscape so that I never have to wake up, if that makes sense.
Starting Lucid Dream Run number 7.
This is the coolest episode ever. When I finished this episode, I sat down, I watched it over and over and over and over and over, and I just like had a dance party because I was so happy that it worked. Anyway.
7, Code Benny.
Code what? Please keep it.
Code Benny, hilarious.
Remember to stay out of sight.
Here we go.
You're ready.
Dreamscape hopping. There's Benjamin. There's I don't remember his name from the dinner skit. Thomas. Oh, that's Billy, who we never got to see before. Billy? I don't remember his name. Timmy. That all of these shots are impossible, but here we go. And we're into If I'm Retired my keyboard.
There's just no way we're gonna win Battle of the Bands this year. We're not their type.
Then I know it.
We're not their type.
Exactly the
Ah!
song we need to play. Let's go. Because
And then a little Prince Ali transition. The yeah.
yes.
So that shot, I'm interspersing shots of the original skit with the new shots that I had to film from the other direction.
I am okay with you.
Not a consumer.
Whose spirit are you?
Disney.
I don't know who that is.
Move. Fine.
I don't think that's the
Similar.
right. Wants to know how to dominate the world. I already said interfere with foreign election, but he
Being invaded. Lieutenant Prime, fire and invader.
Okay, so you see why Fire at Will was confused.
Jerk's sake.
Mrs. Hills, what's happening?
You've accidentally surfaced. You're back in your dreamscape.
Hey everyone, kind of some earth-shaking news.
And
This is Jasper.
we're back. Incredible. Oh, hey, you're confused but intrigued. Go on YouTube, check out Lucids. The final episode is coming out Friday, and I have been working for about a year on it, so we are reviewing everything.
Kind of some earth-shaking news. This is Jasper.
Mrs. Hills, can we...
If I could choose any Hollywood actors for Benjamin, oh gosh, I don't know. I'd want to play Oliver. I've always thought I love Shameik Moore, who was the voice of Miles Morales in Spider-Verse, and he also did a really wonderful performance a few years back in a movie called Dope. And I would love to see his take on Benjamin, because I feel like I just feel as though his kind of energy would really help boost this character, you know, because I don't want him to be some moody, angsty, all the time person. So I'd love to see him be played by someone who kind of goes against that trend. Anyway.
Jasper, this is Alex. Jasper, this is Jasper. Ryan, Jasper.
So she's freaked out because she has just seen her long lost son. Here she goes. We hear Mrs. Hills' theme for the first time.
How was that? Everyone thought my name was Jasper, and there was a diaper on the wall, and everybody.
There actually is a diaper on the wall. In the original Jasper, there is a diaper on the wall. It's right next to Robert Paulson. There's a diaper on the wall.
had a great sense in
You
fashion.
need to go back.
What, like another training session?
No more training sessions. You need to go back in
What do
there.
you mean no more training sessions? You're supposed to be teaching us how to live in our dreamscape. We want to be Lucids,
No
remember?
one wants to become a lucid. You become one because you have no choice.
Go off, Mom.
Which means you have to be pretty messed up.
Go off.
You and me. Don't even get me started on that friend of yours. Now,
Aha, because of the brother. And she knows because he has an apple, and she knows. She knows.
Just for what?
if you want to learn how to live your life through with Isabel, then you need to help me.
How?
The boy you saw in that room, his name's Quinn Hills. He's the lost memory of my son.
Oh, and that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. You want to know something funny about this scene, which my mom would hate for me to tell you, and this is actually really cool. She had just had some surgery at the dentist, and so half of her mouth was numb, and she did that. Like because we didn't have a lot of time because I was actually on a schedule to get this episode out in particular, and she had half of her mouth numb, and I was like, I need you to do this like crazy fight scene with Benjamin, and she did it, which is wild. Go off, Mom. Okay, so that's the prequels. That's the prequels. And that's where we left Benjamin and Oliver. And then I left for the East Coast, and I didn't come back for a while. And then when I came back, I made... does it not exist anymore? No, here it is. I made Lucids. So here we are at Lucids. I'm just going to carry through and not stop right now. Right, this is... Oh, what happened with this? Hang on, everybody. No, it's here. Oh, is this gone? What's gone? What are we missing? Why are we missing so much? Where did all that go? I wonder. I don't know, you guys. But this is typically what, except with actual video files, this is what the editing sort of looks like. So a lot of audio, stacking things on top of each other to get different looking shots in, all the audio, all of the so yeah, down here is what like a lot of these episodes look like. Once we get to an episode that actually I do have the files on, I don't know what really happened with this one. We'll go through, we can parse through, but yeah, pretty wild. And then over here are all of the audio takes, all of the scores, all of the oh, actually, this is all of them that I kind of pick and choose from. So that's all of the audios. These are all of the video files, which seem to be missing right now, but that's okay. Anyway, let's check it out. Here we go.
So what happens when the people inside of our dreams go to sleep?
All right, here I am in the rain, very, very, very cold. I had a projector. We were out on the driveway. I had a projector lined up with a reflective surface right here, and I was projecting just a screen that was flashing between blue and red, and I was projecting it onto the reflective surface to give it more of a dulled tone over here, and then the reflective surface was going that direction. I had a lamp right here. I had the camera basically on, I think, stool or something right here. I think it was my mom was on a ladder with just a hose, just spraying me. My dad in a raincoat, who comes around and gives Oliver his jacket.
What happens to them when we wake up? Do they go on living like we're there? Or do they just pause until we go back to bed? And who are they anyway?
And now I'm changing the aspect ratio because now we are going widescreen. So it started off in TikTok form, and now we are widening out to be like, no, we are no longer on TikTok. We are now doing a real kind of film. Not that TikTok isn't real film, but like sort of a larger, longer, more intense thing. So, here we go.
Pieces of our consciousness, our memories? Or do they evolve independently in a place in our minds we can't quite reach?
Oliver!
And this is purely hypothetical, but if you grew up with a deep, and I mean like gut-deep understanding that the squirrel in SpongeBob was your soulmate, would that make every single person in your dreamscape a secret Sandy Sim? I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say? Oliver? 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 What? You good? Were you dreaming? No, I was just thinking. Did you hear what I said?
Can I? Yes, I can. Okay, so that was, yeah.
No, what'd you say? Nothing. You should probably finish your worksheet, but it's only second grade English, so it's not that hard. Oh, yeah.
The infamous worksheet.
Do you think Mrs. Hills is right? I mean, that guy I saw in training yesterday. He's their son.
Okay, so what I realized is a lot of people are actually starting Lucids with this episode, and I'm so curious as to what, like, you have no information going into it.
about who Mrs. Hills is, about anything that has happened. So it must be fascinating to just start right here. And I don't know, I hear that it works, kind of, so who knows?
I think she'd know. But what would he be doing in our dream? I mean, how did he get there? We don't know him. How could we have just imagined him?
Because he's a lucid! Sorry, spoilers.
I'm gonna go to bed. Hey, Benjamin. I'm sorry for waking us up. What? I'm just sorry.
Doesn't forgive him.
You should get some sleep. You look terrible.
Little contention. You can see me jamming out in the reflection. Yeah!
As difficult as it may be to jump into someone else's dream,
There they are.
it's even harder to pull them out of one.
Mrs.
This is
Hills!
exactly what we are aiming to do today.
That took me forever.
Removing him from the dream he has entrenched himself in must be delicate and precise. To recklessly steal a person from a dreamscape that is not their own can result in side effects.
I don't know if you guys have been able to see the actual. They're terrible, by the way. It says, rule number 1: be careful. Let me start at the beginning. I sent these to the Discord, but how to save. Oh my goodness. They're purposely bad, by the way. How to save the lost memory of my son from an imaginary dimension. Saving my son without proper lucid training. Saving my son after this PowerPoint. One does not simply extract someone from a dreamscape. Your original plot to find a way to live in your dreamscape, saving my son, you. I just wanted it to be that Mrs. Hills does not really know how to make memes.
The dream he has entrenched himself in must be delicate and precise.
Rule number 1, be careful. Subject's mind, when not extracted carefully, I'm a head out. It's important to be careful. Not being careful can result in harmful, undesirable side effects for the subject.
Recklessly steal a person from a dreamscape that is not their own can result in side effects such as an upset stomach or death.
Big range.
And so the subject must feel completely comfortable for a clean extraction. If there is too much activity in the subject...
Oh, that was my favorite. That was my favorite. It really is my favorite. Me trying to extract a stressed subject. They died. I don't know, maybe my humor's broken, but man.
The subject's brain, an interruption can create feedback and tear the mind apart. Questions?
Tons. Dank memes.
Thank you, Oliver. Benjamin, you obviously became close with Quinn at some point in your dream life timeline, so I can't believe I'm saying it.
Now, why did he become close with Quinn in his dream life timeline? Because at some point he joined the cult because he was giving up on his life because he cheated on Isabel, and so his life was like going down the tubes, and so he then joined the Jasper cult. They don't know that yet because they haven't seen all of Benjamin's dream life timeline yet. So they just know that at some point he joins the cult. They don't know why, but he does. And so that is a thing that's
But
talked
you,
about.
a second grader with only 7 lessons of lucid training to speak of, are our best candidate. We will be monitoring you, like we did in training, but when the time comes, it will be up to you to bring Quinn back.
And how exactly am I supposed to do that?
The apple. Your mind perceives the owner of a dreamscape to always be in possession of an apple, correct? If anyone bites into that apple, they will be transported back.
So now we're setting up the more concrete idea of like you have to bite into the apple in order to get back to that person's reality. That was not something that happened in Benjamin and Oliver episode 7, but the only reason it didn't happen in that episode is because I only had 59 seconds to fit it in. So a little bit of a continuity error, but one that I'm willing to forgive myself because of the time constraints.
To the owner's reality.
So all I have to do is convince this guy to eat an apple?
No, to eat your apple.
Sorry.
The worst joke in Lucid's history. That sound, that woo 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 woo, was something I modeled after the Prowler theme in Spider-Verse.
Okay, good. We'll begin immediately.
You still don't have any NyQuil?
No.
Okay. Sorry, it's just kind of hard to knock out when both of you are just standing.
Chapter 42, The Whiteness of the Whale.
Which is Moby Dick. I don't think anybody, a few people did, but that chapter 42, The Whiteness of the Whale, is Moby Dick, and it puts him straight to sleep. Ha
Love, sleep, and play. Pampers. What is happening? Mrs. Hills, what is this? Wait, you put a square foot?
So that is an incredibly hard shot right there. You want to know why that's a hard shot? So those are my hands. My dad is leaning over me with the camera at my face so I can get a point of view shot of my hands. Then it slides over and there's another one of me right there, which is something you never think about. But during that little slide, I had to kind of cut two pieces of footage together. Then I take that piece of footage, I make it into its own little mini film, I put it on my computer, I film my computer playing that scene, and then I have two of me watching that scene. That's a crazy shot.
Wait, you put a swear filter on the Dreamscape feed?
You know, technically, you are 7 years old.
Fair.
Speaking of which, did you finish the worksheet?
Oh, yeah, working on it. Help, Mrs. Hills, I'm breaking the...
Oh, just roll with it, for Christ's sake.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Cool. That was dope.
Oh, I'm supposed to roll with it. I don't know any of these.
So, from Benjamin's perspective, they're all being really shifty, right? So this is sort of a difference of perspectives, where from Jasper's perspective, they're all like one big happy family.
A joke or something.
And
I don't know.
Oh, Jasper, if you could just wash your hands for 20 seconds, that'd be
Hey,
great.
I already washed my hands.
different perspectives.
God, we're screwed.
Oh, this is fun. There they are there. And then there are little Benjamin's feet, which I had so much fun. I just made an entire shot of me lying down so you could see my feet. Hilarious.
Don't let my
Heartbeat start to rise.
The only time I see you is when I close my eyes. You know I'll see you.
When I see you in my dreams.
Give my best to TikTok.
Give my best to TikTok. Ha!
When I
See you in my dreams. Amazing. So yeah, that is parts prequel, Benjamin Oliver, Jasper, and then Lucids Part 1. Hey, 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 hey. Hat hair. Yeah, how are we all feeling? What are we all thinking? That's pretty fun. That's awesome to be able to share that with you guys. Thanks for watching. So tomorrow we will be doing part 2, which will be a little bit of a faster watch, because that together I think was probably 20 minutes of film, and then with me talking that was about an hour. But yeah, so rewatch on your own time if you want. Obviously the finale is going to be an attempt at least to clear a lot of stuff up and revisit everything and give a lot of things closure. So there are some things that I've been prepping since the beginning, and watching it back I'm a bit like, yay, I get that payoff. So I'm really excited. I think that's about it. Yeah. Did anybody watch the Grammys? I have to watch Harry Styles. I want to see that boy. I want to see his talent. Will we see the Jaspers again? I'm not going to give anything away about part 6. Not yet. Yeah. Great. All right. Well, I'm going to the things I have left to do in part 6. There are a few audio messing around. I was watching it back last night, and there were just a few moments where I realized I had to turn up my volume and then I had to turn down my volume, and I don't want you guys to have to do that. So I'm gonna go through and I'm going to turn things up, turn things down. That's basically all I have left to do. There are a few moments in some of the scores where there's a little bit of clipping. So when an instrument comes in, when I bounced the file, it didn't recognize that the instrument was gonna come in, and then all of a sudden it came in. So there's a little bit of a blip in the score, so I have to get rid of those. But I think that's it. Part 6 is pretty much done. And that's the one, someone was asking me what's the longest it's ever taken you to do an episode. That's the one that has taken me 2 months, because I was filming part 6 while I was doing part 5. And to film both episodes took me about a month and a half. Then I left part 6, edited all of part 5, which took me about 2 weeks. And then I came back to part 6, and part 6 has taken me about a month, about 3 weeks to edit. So part 6 has taken me the longest. Yeah, definitely. How long is the episode? The episode as of right now, I don't know if I'm going to do a recap at the beginning. I think this is what these lives are sort of for. but right now it's 24 minutes and a half. 24 minutes and 30 seconds, I think it is. And that's about 23 minutes worth of episode itself, because then there's credits at the end. So yeah. Wasn't the original line "Sul motherfucker"? Yes, but we're not seeing it at that moment. We're seeing Mike Crotchburn's when he's first brought into the world, and he is dropped in right after that moment of "Sul mother," and now he's saying "Sul bueno" because Benjamin's now dropped in. So it's not quite the same moment that we saw. It's the moment after. We're being fed. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks, y'all. Oh, pie is on it. I assume that's pie. That looks like pie's photo. Oh my gosh, Stargazers is here. What's up? The original line, yeah. I think that's about it. I will keep you posted and everything. Oh, people are asking questions. I do love answering, and I can go on forever. A super long video of the prequels and every... No. I'd rather have them be episodic. I don't think I want to make one big video, because they're episodic. They're supposed to be kind of a natural break where I put it. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna head out. But thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad you enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, North America, and 5 p.m. Western Time, same thing. I hope that this time worked for everybody.